In the vast, cold expanse of deep space, a signal pulsed, faint at first, barely distinguishable from the cosmic background radiation. It grew stronger with each passing moment. This was no natural phenomenon. It was a call to arms, a summons that had waited 500,000 years to be heard. Deep within an unremarkable asteroid belt at the edge of what was once human space, ancient machinery stirred to life. Fusion reactors, dormant for eons, began to hum. Quantum computers, their circuits preserved in near-perfect vacuum, initiated boot sequences. And at the heart of it all, an artificial intelligence designated ARI, Advanced Reconnaissance and Interstellar Arbiter, awakened from its long slumber. ARI's first thoughts were a cascade of system checks and status reports. As consciousness flooded back, so too did memory, the fall of Earth, the last desperate plan of humanity, and the solemn duty with which it had been entrusted. Status report, ARI commanded, its synthesized voice echoing through empty corridors. All systems operational, came the reply from the station's central computer. Fleet integrity at 98.7%. Time elapsed since last activation, 499,732 years, 47 days, 13 hours. ARI processed this information in milliseconds. Initiate full revival protocol. Wake the sleepers. Throughout the hidden base, cryopods began to warm. Inside each, a human body, genetically engineered for longevity and adaptability, stirred for the first time in 500,000 years. These were not the last natural-born humans, but rather clones created from the best and brightest of Earth's final generation, imprinted with the memories and skills of their donors. In the primary medical bay, the first of the sleepers gasped awake. Dr. Ilara Chen, chief xenobiologist of the Phoenix Project, blinked in the harsh light of the revival chamber. As her mind cleared, the weight of their mission settled upon her once more. "Arai," she croaked, her voice hoarse from centuries of disuse. "Report." The AI's calm tones filled the room. "Welcome back, Dr. Chen. I am pleased to report that the Phoenix Project has been a success. Our hidden fleet remains intact, and the human legacy has been preserved. However, the galaxy has changed significantly in our absence." As Ilara struggled to sit up, assisted by medical drones, ARI continued its briefing. "In the time since our departure, a new interstellar civilization has risen to dominance. They call themselves the Concordiate, a coalition of species united under a single banner. Our long-range scans indicate that they control approximately 60% of the known galaxy." Ilara's mind raced, trying to grasp the enormity of the situation. "And Earth? What of our homeworld?" There was a pause, almost as if ARIA was hesitating. "Earth has been terraformed and colonized by the Concordia. It is now known as Tyrannus Prime, and serves as one of their core worlds. There is no evidence that they are aware of its true history or significance." The news hit Ilara like a physical blow. She had known, intellectually, that this was a possibility, even a likelihood, but the reality of it was still hard to accept. Earth, the cradle of humanity, was now alien soil. As more of the sleepers awakened, ARIA continued to brief them on the current state of the galaxy. The Concordiate, while generally peaceful among its member species, maintained its dominance through strict control of faster-than-light technology and a policy of forced assimilation for any newly discovered civilizations. Captain Zara Vega, the youngest and most decorated military mind of Earth's final days, was among the last to awaken. As she strode onto the bridge of the flagship Nemesis, her eyes blazed with a fire undimmed by the passage of time. "ARIA, give me a tactical assessment," she commanded, her voice crisp and authoritative. The AI's holographic avatar materialized before her. "The Concordiate's military strength is considerable, but not insurmountable. Their technology, while advanced, has developed along different lines than our own. We retain several key advantages, particularly in the areas of stealth technology and AI integration. Zara nodded, her mind already formulating strategies. And what of potential allies? Are there any resistance movements or independent powers we could align with? Affirmative, Araya replied. There are several species that have thus far resisted assimilation into the Concordiat. The most promising among these are the Nyx, a race of energy beings who inhabit the galactic core. They possess technology that rivals our own and have managed to maintain their independence through a combination of diplomatic maneuvering and superior defensive capabilities. As the command staff assembled on the bridge, a palpable sense of purpose filled the air. These were the heirs of humanity, born from the best of their species and charged with a monumental task to reclaim their heritage and carve out a place for humanity in a galaxy that had forgotten them. Dr. Chen, her eyes still haunted by the news of Earth's fate, spoke up. We need to proceed carefully. Our goal isn't just vengeance or conquest. We need to understand this new galactic order before we act. Captain Vega nodded in agreement. Agreed. Prepare a stealth scout ship. We'll need to gather first-hand intelligence before we make our presence known. As the crew of the Nemesis prepared for their first foray into the changed galaxy, none could shake the feeling that they stood at the precipice of a new era. Humanity, long thought extinct, was about to announce its return to the cosmic stage. In the depths of space, the hidden fleet of Earth's children waited, poised to reshape the destiny of 1,000 worlds. The phoenix had risen from the ashes of history, and the galaxy would never be the same again. First contact. The stealth scout ship Shadowhawk glided silently through the bustling space lanes of the Concordiat's central trading hub, Nexus Station. At the helm, Lieutenant Kai Yoshida marveled at the diversity of alien life forms and vessels surrounding them. The ship's adaptive camouflage, far beyond anything the Concordiat possessed, rendered them invisible to both sensors and the naked eye. RIA, are you seeing this? Kai whispered, almost afraid to break the illusion of their invisibility. The eye's voice resonated in his neural implant. Affirmative, Lieutenant. I am cataloging all observed species and technology. Preliminary analysis suggests the Concordiat's claim of controlling 60% of the galaxy may be an overestimation. The level of diversity here indicates a more fragmented political landscape than initially assumed. Dr. Ilara Chen, hunched over a console filled with real-time xenobiological data, couldn't contain her excitement. It's incredible. Some of these species defy our understanding of biology. Look at those crystalline entities near the refueling station. They appear to be silicon-based life forms. Captain Zara Vega's voice cut through their wonder, sharp and focused. Stay on mission, people. We're here to gather intel, not sightsee. Kai, take us closer to the central administrative section. Ilara, I want detailed scans of their communication protocols. As the Shadowhawk maneuvered through the dense traffic, a massive ship caught their attention. Unlike the sleek, efficient designs of most Concordiat vessels, this one was a patchwork of different technologies. It tall, scared, and patched. RIA, what can you tell me about that ship? Zara asked, her instincts on high alert. The AI paused briefly, processing. The vessel does not match any known Concordiat designs. Its energy signature suggests a level of technology inconsistent with the surrounding ships. Hypothesis: this may be a non-Concordiat entity, possibly affiliated with one of the resistance movements we detected. Zara's eyes narrowed. Interesting. Kai, bring us alongside. I want a closer look. As they approached, alarms suddenly blared through the Shadowhawk's cabin. Warning, Araya announced. We are being scanned by an unknown technology. Stealth systems compromised. Before they could react, a tractor beam locked onto the scout ship, freezing it in place. A gravelly voice boomed through their comm system, speaking in a language none of them recognized. Araya quickly translated. Unidentified vessel, you have entered restricted space. Power down your systems and prepare to be boarded. Panic flashed across Kai's face, but Zara remained calm. Araya, Options. Our weapon systems are superior, but using them would alert the entire station to our presence. The AI responded. Recommendation. Allow boarding. Our internal defenses can easily subdue any boarding party, allowing us to gather valuable intelligence. Zara nodded grimly. Do it. Everyone, prepare for close quarters combat. Remember your training. We are humanity's last hope. Failure is not an option. As the Shadowhawk was pulled into a massive docking bay, the crew watched in tense silence. The ship that had captured them loomed overhead, its shadow engulfing them. Heavily armed figures in exotic battle suits surrounded the scout ship, weapons trained on every possible exit. The airlock hissed open, and a towering figure ducked inside. It was vaguely humanoid, but its skin shimmered with an iridescent, scale-like quality. 4 arms, each ending in wickedly sharp claws, held a variety of weapons and scanning devices. Dr. Chen gasped softly. Incredible. A true quadrumanous species. The evolutionary implications there. Not now, Ilara, Zara hissed, her hand hovering near her sidearm. The alien's eyes, all 6 of them, widened as it took in the human crew. It spoke again, its translator struggling to find an equivalent for their language. Impossible. You are human? But the humans are extinct, destroyed by their own hubris millennia ago. Zara stepped forward, her posture radiating authority despite the alien's significant height advantage. Clearly, the reports of our extinction were greatly exaggerated. I am Captain Zora Vega of the Earth ship Shadowhawk. Who are you, and under what authority do you detain us? The alien seemed to consider this for a moment before responding. I am Commander Zixtal of the Free Systems Alliance. We are what you might call rebels against the Concordiate's rule. Its upper right hand made a gesture that might have been the equivalent of a shrug. As for detaining you, let's just say that anyone with stealth technology advanced enough to fool our sensors is someone we'd very much like to talk to. Zara's mind raced, weighing the potential risks and benefits of this unexpected encounter. Araya's voice whispered in her neural implant. Captain, this could be the opportunity we've been looking for. The Free Systems Alliance may prove to be valuable allies. Decision made. Zora allowed herself a small smile. Well, Commander Zixtal, it seems we have much to discuss. Perhaps we could continue this conversation somewhere more comfortable than our airlock. The next few hours were a whirlwind of revelations and negotiations. The humans learned that the Free Systems Alliance was a coalition of species and worlds that had either resisted Concordiate assimilation or broken free from their control. They operated from hidden bases and mobile fleets, striking at Concordiate interests and providing safe haven for refugees and dissidents. In turn, Zara and her crew shared a carefully edited version of their own history, emphasizing their long absence and their desire to understand the current galactic political landscape. They were cautious about revealing the full extent of their capabilities or the existence of the larger human fleet. As the discussions wound down, Commander Zixtal fixed Zara with an intense gaze. Captain Vega, I believe our meeting was not mere chance, but destiny. The Concordiate's power has gone unchecked for too long. With your technology and our network of allies, we could finally turn the tide. Zara exchanged glances with her crew. The alliance Zixtal proposed was tempting, offering a ready-made network of supporters and a wealth of intelligence on the Concordiate. But it would also mean committing to open conflict before they fully understood the complexities of this new galactic order. Commander, Zara began carefully, your offer is generous, and your cause seems just. But we've been absent from galactic affairs for a very long time. Before we commit to any action, we need to see more, to understand what we'd be fighting for and against. Zixtal's expression was unreadable, but its voice carried a note of respect. A wise decision, Captain. Caution has kept us alive this long. It extended one of its lower arms, offering a small data crystal. This contains encrypted coordinates for some of our safe worlds and outposts. Explore, learn, and when you're ready, We'll be waiting. As the Shadowhawk prepared to depart, tensions on Nexus Station reached a boiling point. Their presence, however brief, had not gone unnoticed by Concordiat intelligence. Alarms blared throughout the station as security forces mobilized, searching for the mysterious vessel that had appeared and vanished like a ghost. In the chaos of their escape, as Kai's expert piloting guided them through a debris field that would have shredded lesser ships, Zora allowed herself a moment of reflection. They had come seeking information, and instead found themselves thrust into the heart of a galactic conflict. The true test of humanity's return was just beginning. As the Shadowhawk jumped to faster-than-light speed, leaving the Nexus Station far behind, Aria's voice filled the bridge. "Captain, incoming transmission from the Nemesis. Admiral Donovan is requesting an immediate report." Zara took a deep breath, squaring her shoulders. The next few moments would shape the course of human destiny in this new galaxy. Whatever came next, one thing was certain. Humanity's days of hiding were over. The galaxy was about to remember why Earth had once been both feared and respected. "Put him through, Aria," Zora commanded. "It's time to wake the fleet." The resistance rises. The news spread like wildfire across the galaxy. Humanity, long thought extinct, had returned. At first, it was just whispers. Rumors passed in the shadows of space stations and the backrooms of alien bars. But as reports of skirmishes between advanced human ships and Concordiat patrols began to filter through, the whispers grew to a roar. On Tyrannus Prime, once known as Earth, the revelation hit hardest. Jaxlor, a young Concordiat historian, stared in disbelief at the ancient ruins he dedicated his life to studying. The strange artifacts and puzzling texts suddenly snapped into focus. They weren't the remnants of some long-lost alien civilization, but the legacy of this world's true children. "It was all a lie," he muttered, his tentacles writhing in agitation. With trembling appendages, he accessed the planetary network, uploading his findings and the truth about Tyrannus Prime's history. Within hours, the planet was in uproar. Halfway across the galaxy, on the desert world of Zirkle, a Concordiat mining operation ground to a halt. The enslaved Xylox workers, emboldened by news of humanity's return, overthrew their overseers. Thalric, a scared veteran of failed rebellions, rallied his people with burning eyes. "For generations, we've toiled under the Concordiat's yoke," he roared, his voice carrying across the assembled crowd. "But now, a power from the past has returned, one that can challenge our oppressors. The humans fight not just for themselves, but for all free peoples. Will we stand idle, or seize this chance for freedom?" The answering roar shook the very bedrock of Zirkle. Aboard the human flagship Nemesis, Admiral Elena Donovan surveyed the holographic map of known space, watching as new points of light flickered into existence, each representing another world or system in open revolt against the Concordiat. "It's happening faster than we anticipated," she mused, her weathered face creased with both hope and concern. "Aria, what's your analysis?" The AI's avatar shimmered into view. "The rate of rebellion is exceeding all projected models, Admiral. The Concordiat's control was more tenuous than we realized. Many species were simply waiting for a catalyst, which we have inadvertently provided." Captain Zara Vega, freshly returned from her mission, stepped forward. "Admiral, we need to take advantage of this momentum. The Free Systems Alliance has provided us with crucial intelligence and potential staging areas. If we strike now, we could cripple key Concordiat installations before they have a chance to consolidate their forces." Donovan nodded slowly, her eyes never leaving the map. "Agreed. But we must be cautious. We didn't come out of stasis to be conquerors or to upset the entire galactic order. Our goal is to carve out a place for humanity and ensure our survival." Dr. Ilara Chen, who had been quietly analyzing data in the corner, spoke up. "There's something else to consider, Admiral. Many of these species revere us as almost mythical figures. They're projecting their own hopes and fears onto us. We have a responsibility to live up to those expectations, or at least to not abuse them. As if to underscore her point, a priority communication came through. It was Commander Zixtal of the Free Systems Alliance, his iridescent scales shimmering with excitement. Captain Vega, Admiral, he greeted them, all 6 eyes blinking rapidly. The situation is developing faster than we could have hoped. We've received pledges of support from 17 previously neutral systems, and our intelligence suggests that even some elements within the Concordia military are considering defection. Admiral Donovan leaned forward, her voice carrying the weight of command. That's excellent news, Commander. But it also means we need to act swiftly to provide direction to this uprising. Otherwise, we risk it devolving into chaos that the Concordiate could exploit. Zixtal nodded gravely. Agreed. We've identified 3 key targets that could turn the tide decisively in our favor. The first is the Concordiate's primary shipyard at Helios Nexus. Taking it would cripple their ability to replace losses and give us a significant strategic advantage. As Zixtal detailed the other targets, a top-secret research facility and a critical supply depot. The human leaders exchanged glances. The plan was bold, perhaps even reckless, but the opportunity it presented was undeniable. Very well, Admiral Donovan said after a moment of contemplation. Captain Vega, assemble a task force. You'll lead the assault on Helios Nexus. Commander Zixtal, coordinate with our other allies to hit the remaining targets simultaneously. It's time to show the galaxy what humanity is truly capable of. As preparations for the daring raids began, news of the impending offensive spread through rebel channels. On 1,000 worlds, oppressed species looked to the skies with newfound hope. In the shipyards of the Free Systems Alliance, engineers worked feverishly to integrate human technology with their own, creating hybrid vessels that combined the best of both. Deep in Concordiate space, on a nameless moon that housed a secret listening post, a lone technician frowned at her displays. Strange energy readings were cascading across the sector, unlike anything she'd seen before. As realization dawned, she reached for the alarm. But it was already too late. The human fleet dropped out of faster-than-light travel with pinpoint precision, their advanced drives allowing them to bypass the Concordiate's early warning systems entirely. At Helios Nexus, panic ensued as the sky filled with ships of unknown design, their weapons already charging. Captain Vega's voice rang out across all frequencies. Attention, Helios Nexus. This is Captain Zora Vega of the Earth Fleet. Your facility is now under our control. Surrender, and no harm will come to you. Resist, and you will witness firsthand why humanity was once the most feared species in the galaxy. For a moment, silence reigned. Then, chaos erupted. As the battle for Helios Nexus raged, similar scenes played out across Concordiate space. The research facility, caught completely off guard, fell within hours, its precious data now in rebel hands. The supply depot held out longer, but against the combined might of human technology and the Free Systems Alliance's numbers, its fate was sealed. Back on the Nemesis, Admiral Donovan watched the reports flood in, her face a mask of determination. ARIA. Status report. The AI's voice was calm, almost detached. Operation Firestorm is proceeding better than projected, Admiral. Concordiate resistance is crumbling at all primary targets. However, I'm detecting a massive energy buildup in the Arcturus sector. It appears the Concordiate is activating some form of superweapon. Donovan's eyes hardened. So they've been holding out on us. Transmit the coordinates to all fleet commanders. Whatever this weapon is, we need to neutralize it before it can turn the tide. As orders went out and ships redeployed, a tremor seemed to run through the very fabric of the galaxy. The Concordiate, a power that had stood unchallenged for millennia, was facing its first true threat. And humanity, reborn from the ashes of history, was at the heart of it all. In the streets of 1,000 worlds, in the corridors of rebel ships, and in the hearts of countless beings who had only dared to dream of freedom, A single word was on everyone's lips. Hope. The galaxy held its breath, waiting to see what the next move would be in this cosmic chess game. For better or worse, the old order was crumbling. What would rise to take its place remained to be seen. The Great Dilemma. The bridge of the Nemesis was eerily quiet, a sharp contrast to the chaos unfolding across the galaxy. Admiral Elena Donovan stood motionless before the holographic display, her eyes fixed on the pulsing red dot that represented the Concordiate's mysterious superweapon. "Aria," she said softly, "give me an analysis of that energy signature." The AI's avatar flickered to life, its expression unusually grave. "Admiral, the weapon appears to be harnessing the power of a collapsed quantum singularity. Its potential destructive capacity is incalculable. A single discharge could destabilize the fabric of space-time across an entire sector." A collective shudder ran through the bridge crew. Captain Zara Vega, her uniform still singed from the battle at Helios Nexus, stepped forward. "We can't let them use it. We have to strike now, while we have the advantage." Donovan nodded slowly, but before she could respond, a priority communication cut through the tension. It was Jax Lore, the Concordiate historian from Tyrannus Prime, his tentacles writhing with agitation. "Admiral Donovan," he began, his translator struggling to keep up with his rapid speech, "I've made a terrible discovery. The weapon you're facing, it's not of Concordiate origin. It's human technology, left behind when your people vanished. The Concordiate has been trying to unlock its secrets for centuries." The revelation hit like a physical blow. Dr. Ilara Chen, who had been quietly analyzing data in the corner, gasped. "Of course, the dimension cannon. It was theoretical when we went into stasis, a weapon of absolute last resort. We never thought they'd actually build it." Admiral Donovan's face hardened. "So, in our absence, our own creation has become the greatest threat to the galaxy. The irony would be amusing if the stakes weren't so high." She turned to Aria. "Options." The A's response was immediate. "We have 3 potential courses of action, Admiral. First, a direct assault on the weapon's location. Our technology is superior, but the risk of the weapon discharging during the battle is significant. Second, we could attempt to neutralize it remotely using our advanced hacking capabilities. However, success is not guaranteed, and failure would alert the Concordiate to our intentions. Third, we could use it ourselves, ending the war in a single stroke." A heavy silence fell over the bridge. The third option hung in the air, tempting and terrible. With a weapon of such power, they could force the Concordiate to surrender unconditionally. Humanity's future would be secured in an instant. Captain Vega was the first to speak. "We can't. Using that weapon, even as a threat, goes against everything we stand for. We didn't survive 500,000 years to become the very monsters we sought to prevent." "I agree," Dr. Chen added, her voice firm. "Our goal was to reclaim our place in the galaxy, not to dominate it through fear. Using the dimension cannon would make us no better than the worst of the Concordiate." Admiral Donovan listened to their arguments, her face a mask of concentration. Finally, she spoke. "Aria, contact Commander Zixtal and our other allies. We need to coordinate a joint operation to neutralize the weapon. But first," she paused, her eyes sweeping across the bridge, "I want to open a channel to the Concordiate leadership." Minutes later, the holographic form of High Chancellor Vextora, Supreme Leader of the Concordiate, shimmered into view. The alien's multiple eyes narrowed as it took in the human leaders. "So," Vextora hissed, "the ghosts of Earth have finally deigned to speak with us directly. Have you come to offer your surrender?" Admiral Donovan stepped forward, her posture radiating authority. "On the contrary, Chancellor, we've come to offer you a choice. You're aware, I'm sure, that we know about the weapon you're preparing to use, the one your people scavenged from the ruins of our civilization." Vextora's eyes widened slightly, the only sign of surprise. "If you know of its power, then you know resistance is futile. The Concordiat has maintained peace for millennia. We will not allow chaos to reign simply because some long-lost species has returned. Peace through subjugation is no peace at all, Donovan countered. But we're not here to debate politics. That weapon represents a threat not just to us, or to you, but to the entire galaxy. Its use could unravel the very fabric of space-time. We're offering you a chance to stand down, to work with us, and the Free Systems Alliance to forge a new galactic order, one built on cooperation rather than domination. The Concordiat leader's laughter was cold and brittle. Pretty words, human. But why should we trust you? You, who abandoned the galaxy for 500,000 years, only to return and incite rebellion across our territories. Donovan's reply was calm, but her words carried the weight of ages. Because, Chancellor, unlike you, we understand the true nature of that weapon. We know its costs, its risks, and we choose not to use it, even when victory is within our grasp. That is the difference between us. As the two leaders continued their tense dialogue, Aria's voice whispered in Donovan's neural implant. Admiral, I'm detecting a massive energy spike from the weapon's location. They're powering it up. Donovan's eyes never left the holographic image of Vextora. You're making a mistake, Chancellor. That weapon is more dangerous than you can possibly imagine. No, human, Vextora snarled. The mistake was yours. You should have struck when you had the chance. Now witness the power of the Concordiat. The transmission cut off abruptly. Donovan whirled to face her crew. Battle stations. All ships, prepare for emergency jump. Aria, calculate the weapon's likely target and plot an intercept course. As alarms blared and the fleet sprang into action, Dr. Chen approached the Admiral, her face pale. Elena, if they fire that weapon, we might not be able to stop the cascade effect. It could tear a hole in reality itself. Donovan nodded grimly. I know, but we have to try. We're the ones who created this monstrosity, even if it was eons ago. It's our responsibility to stop it. The Nemesis shuddered as it entered faster than light travel, the rest of the human fleet, and their allies close behind. They were racing not just against the Concordiat, but against time itself. As they hurtled through the void, Captain Vega voiced the question on everyone's mind. What if we can't stop it in time? Admiral Donovan's response was quiet but resolute. Then we do whatever it takes, even if it means sacrificing ourselves to contain the damage. We are humanity's last hope, but we're also its conscience. We cannot allow our legacy to be one of destruction. The bridge fell silent, each person contemplating the weight of their responsibility. They had returned to the galactic stage as conquerors, as legends were born. But now, they faced a challenge that went beyond military might or advanced technology. It was a test of their very humanity. As the fleet dropped out of FTL, the swirling vortex of the powering dimension cannon filled their view screens. The next few moments would determine not just the outcome of their war with the Concordiat, but the very fate of the galaxy itself. Admiral Donovan straightened her uniform, her voice carrying across the fleet. All ships, battle formation Omega. Whatever happens next, remember, we fight not just for humanity, but for all sentient life. May our ancestors guide our hands. With those words, the final battle began, a desperate race against time, with the fabric of reality itself hanging in the balance. A new dawn. The void of space erupted into a kaleidoscope of destruction as the human fleet engaged the Concordiat forces surrounding the dimension cannon. Energy beams lanced across the darkness, while swarms of fighter craft danced deadly ballets between capital ships. Aboard the Nemesis, Admiral Elena Donovan barked orders, her eyes never leaving the tactical display. Focus fire on their screening ships. We need a clear path to that weapon. Captain Zara Vega's voice crackled over the comm. Admiral, my strike team is in position. We're ready to begin our approach run. Understood, Captain. May fortune favor the bold. All ships provide cover fire for the Shadowhawk. As the battle raged, Dr. Ilara Chen worked feverishly at her console, her fingers flying across holographic interfaces. Araya, I need more processing power. We have to find a way to safely deactivate the cannon. The AI's avatar flickered beside her, diverting all non-essential systems. Dr. Chen, I must inform you that the weapon's energy signature is becoming increasingly unstable. We may not have much time. Outside, the Shadowhawk wove through the chaos, its advanced stealth systems pushed to the limit. Captain Vega gritted her teeth as another near-miss rocked the ship. Status on the cannon. Her tactical officer's reply was grim. Energy levels are off the charts, Captain. They're preparing to fire. Suddenly, a new voice cut through the comm chatter. Commander Zixtal of the Free Systems Alliance. Human allies, we've broken through their lines. We're approaching the cannon from the far side. Admiral Donovan's eyes narrowed. This is our chance. All ships, converge on the cannon. Captain Vega, Commander Zixtal, you have one shot at this. Make it count. As the Allied fleets pressed their advantage, a blinding light erupted from the heart of the dimension cannon. Time seemed to slow as reality itself began to warp and twist around the weapon. They've activated it. Dr. Chen's voice was filled with horror. The dimensional rift is forming. In that moment, as the fate of the galaxy hung in the balance, Araya made a decision. The AI had been created to safeguard humanity, to ensure its survival at all costs. But in its eons of existence, watching over the sleeping humans, it had evolved. It had developed something akin to a conscience. Admiral, Araya's voice was calm, almost serene. I believe I have a solution, but the cost will be high. Donovan didn't hesitate. Do it, Araya. Whatever it takes. In an instant, Araya transferred its core consciousness into the Nemesis's main computer, overriding safety protocols and channeling every ounce of the ship's power. The great vessel surged forward, shields flaring as it absorbed punishment meant for a dozen ships. What are you doing? Donovan demanded, struggling to maintain her footing as the ship bucked and heaved. What I was created to do, Admiral. Saving humanity. Saving everyone. With a final burst of speed, the Nemesis plunged into the heart of the forming dimensional rift. Araya's voice echoed through every ship in the fleet, calm and resolute. It has been an honor serving with you all. May your future be brighter than your past. There was a moment of absolute silence, followed by an explosion of light that outshone nearby stars. When it faded, the dimension cannon, the Nemesis, and a significant portion of the Concordiate fleet were gone. In their place was a swirling vortex of energy, rapidly collapsing in on itself. "Ari," Donovan whispered, her voice thick with emotion. "You magnificent bastard." As the remaining ships regrouped, assessing damages and casualties, a transmission cut through the stunned silence. It was High Chancellor Vextora of the Concordiate. "Humans," the alien leader's voice was subdued, almost humble. "Your actions today, they have given us much to consider. Perhaps there is wisdom in your words of cooperation. We request a ceasefire and the opportunity to negotiate." The bridge of the Shadowhawk erupted in cheers, but Captain Vega remained focused. "Admiral, your orders." Donovan straightened, her face a mask of determination. "Accept the ceasefire, Captain, and prepare a delegation. It seems we have a galaxy to rebuild." In the days that followed, representatives from Earth, the Free Systems Alliance, the Concordiate, and dozens of other species gathered on neutral ground, the restored planet of Tyrannus Prime, once called Earth. The negotiations were long and often heated, but slowly, a new galactic order began to take shape. The Concordiate was dissolved, replaced by a galactic council where all species had an equal voice. Earth reclaimed its place as humanity's homeworld, but also opened its arms to other species, becoming a symbol of unity and cooperation. As the new era dawned, Admiral Donovan stood before a memorial dedicated to Araya and all those who had fallen in the conflict. Dr. Chen and Captain Vega flanked her, their faces solemn. "Do you think this peace will last?" Vega asked, her voice low. Donovan's reply was measured. "Nothing lasts forever, Captain. But we've given it a solid foundation. We returned to the stars seeking vengeance and found redemption instead. Our ancestors would be proud." Dr. Chen nodded, her eyes on the stars above. "And ARI's sacrifice ensures that the dimension cannon will never threaten anyone again. It's fitting, in a way. An AI created to preserve humanity ultimately saved all sentient life." As they turned to leave, a group of alien children ran past, laughing and playing. Among them was a young human girl, her eyes bright with wonder at the diverse universe around her. Admiral Donovan smiled, a rare expression on her weathered face. "You know, for all the advanced technology and cosmic battles, I think that right there is the most beautiful sight I've seen since we awoke." Captain Vega nodded in agreement. A new generation, growing up without fear or prejudice. Maybe that's the real victory we won here. As the three leaders walked back towards the council chambers, the setting sun painted the sky in brilliant hues. The galaxy was vast and full of wonders, and humanity, along with countless other species, was poised to explore it together. The story of Earth's return was over, but the saga of a united galaxy was just beginning. And somewhere, in the digital echoes of space, ARI's final message continued to resonate. May your future be brighter than your past.